mine was once known as North Levant Mine. This mine is situated on the cliff at Pendee. The mine opened in 1911 and closed in 1990. 50,000 tons of black tin was mined. When the mine was in full production, there were roughly 176 workers employed. The mine is situated right on the coast, which expanded under the sea. Majority of the tin ore from underground was done via a victory shaft. The final depth of this shaft was 1,575 feet.
Yes, ladies first.
So, how many years were you working down there?
I was here from 1979 on to 1990. I was here for both closures. So 86 I left and went with Tyson's, came back, and then went sell property in between as well. Then I came back in 88. You see my footprint in the drill shop. I came back here for the last 2 years when we got made redundant again. That's when we finished the building. So, it's like a second home really. I came here from the forces. Yes, mate.
How old were you when you went down to the mine when you were as a kid?
A kid?
Yeah, when you were...
Well, I suppose I was still young. I was in the 28, so then. I came here from the 40s. I was quite young and fit. I thought I was fit until I got here. Believe me, it's another different fitness altogether here.
Me?
Yeah.
Have you had any injuries down in the mines?
Stupid ones, yeah. I went through the Grizzlies once. Grizzly bars. I don't keep.
I mentioned them. They've not seen one.
Where we used my first job here as a contract man was swinging a 14-pound hammer all day. Everything underground was broke by hand. All the rocks coming back, no matter what size they were, had to be broke by hand. So I was swinging a hammer for 2 years solid. 8 hours a day. Believe me, that's hard graft. But the bars on the higher levels were a little bit wider than the ones where I was working on the decline. They were about 6 inches down the decline, but up there, up on the higher levels, you can make them over a foot and a half. And I didn't wear a safety harness when I was up there. You see one there hanging up. I didn't have it attached to me. So when I swung, I missed, and I went through the bars. Went down through the ore pass. And lucky enough, the ore pass was full. If it was empty, I wouldn't be here talking to you. I would have gone straight through the level, right down to the bottom and skip over. But I landed on the pile, bruised myself, and I carried on working, but eventually it caught up me on my hips. And I've had hip problems ever since. I've been for my limb hip replacement. Okay, so it's just catching up on me really. So arthritis, once arthritis gets on you, obviously wet, cold all the time, so it creeps up on you. Yeah, I've had other sorts of things, jam my fingers where I shouldn't be putting them. But I've still got all my fingers. When you used to come in here, it's about 100 men here, guarantee there was 6 or 7 of them who lost their fingers, 1 or 2 fingers. It's just one of those things, jam a machine up against the wall or whatever. Any other questions? Oh, sorry. Was it fun? When I was working, I didn't class it as fun, but I enjoyed it here. It was just like a second family, it was a camaraderie, like you going to school with your mates. It was that type of thing here. So really, we did enjoy it, but when you're down there working, obviously that's in the back of your mind. Once we finished working, then we enjoyed ourselves, that's all I say. We did do a few pranks or two, we nailed a few people to the seats, all that type of thing. That was a good side of it. But when you was working, you'd work, you know what I mean?
I think we've got a couple of ideas as well.
What clothes?
What clothes? Rags. Whatever shirt I had home in the wardrobe that I, finished with, pair of trousers, I just wear it until it drops off me. So this is why you see most of these trousers here, or jeans or anything like that. You just wear them, no matter the legs fall off, you're going to put in with one leg on to make a difference. Nobody's going to see you down there. And when I was on the decline, I say under the sea there, I was in underpants and Wellingtons most of the time anyhow, because it was that hot.
Were you ever in like a flood?
Any floods?
No, no floods. Plenty of water around you. You're always thinking about water is your biggest worry underground, where it was, especially when you get near all workings. Okay, and obviously we were working down towards the Levant, but also we were dewatering it as we were going down. But there's always that worry in the back. If you charge around it, I mean drill around, and then charge it and you blast, there's always wondering if there's water behind there. It could well be a vodka or something like that. So you always think about water. So when you're told to put in pilot holes, drill ahead of yourselves, looking for water, you always have to put them in. Right? So water is always your biggest problem.
Have you ever seen anyone fall down a ladder?
Fall down ladders, yeah, I've seen them fall down ladders many times. Yeah. You just imagine when you're carrying machines and all, you know, you only grab it all by one hand sometimes, you know, and you're wet leaking, full of slime, you quite easily slip and fall. There's lots of falls. Right? So a lot of people, you know, big cuts in your legs, you know, the hands, you know, and of course they come to work next day, all bandaged up, still got to carry on working. So lots of falls, yes. A lot of people being jammed with wagons, okay, being hit with hindco buckets, okay. There's a lot of risk involved.
Sadly, in 1986, the mine closed and the price of tin dropped from £10,000 to £3,400 per tonne. However, in 1988, the mine reopened with a small amount of people. Unfortunately, the price of tin didn't rise enough to keep the mine open, so it closed.
In 1991, all the miners were laid off and the water pumps were turned off.
This allowed the mines to flood.
The council bought the site and a group of volunteers developed it into a museum.
In 1993, the Geevor Tin Mine Heritage Centre opened to the public.
Geevor Tin Mine is fascinating to tour and step back in time to see what life was like as a miner.